Imagine for a moment that the wine you consider special, the one you save for important benefits, might just be an industrially developed blend, built to deceive your palate, manipulate your brain, and drain your wallet. Imagine that seemingly elegant bottle, with a premium label, gold medals, and an exciting story about tradition. It was created precisely to make you believe in something it isn't. And now, think about it. If all this is true, how many times have you fallen into this trap without realizing it? This video isn't just here to inform you. It's here to show the concealment that transforms a simple fermented juice into a billion-dollar product driven by marketing, sensory tricks, and psychological manipulation. And yes, the title "The Wine Industry Scam" is no exaggeration. What you're about to discover is deeper than it seems. Then with each passing minute, you'll realize that almost everything you've been taught about wine might be wrong. Stick around until the end because you're going to discover how large companies create artificial wines that taste like expensive wines, how awards are used as advertising, how experts are constantly wrong, why price rarely reflects real quality, and how you can protect yourself from never falling for these tricks again. And to intrigue you even more, I'll tell you something up front. The world's most famous blind taste tests have already proven that super cheap wines can beat bottles costing thousands of reais, and people don't even realize it. If you found that strange, get ready, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Before I reveal how the deception works, you need to understand the most important point of this whole story. You don't feel what you think you feel when you drink wine. Half, sometimes more, of the wine experience comes from elements that aren't inside the bottle. It starts with the visual aspect. Heavier bottles give the impression of a more expensive product, and many companies use this strategy as a standard, not because they need to, but because they know that you automatically associate weight with quality. The label isn't just there to inform you either. It's a well-calculated psychological trick. Bold colors, elegant fonts, large numbers, phrases like special reserve, selected harvest, exclusive vineyard. All of this is designed to activate a feeling of prestige in your brain before the first sip. And there's more. The shape of the bottle matters. The type of cork matters. The color of the glass matters. The sound the cork makes when it comes out matters. Each of these details influences your perception of flavor, even without you realizing it. Researchers have conducted tests where people drank the same wine, but believed they were drinking different labels. The result? When they thought the wine was expensive, their brains literally activated more pleasure centers, even though it was exactly the same liquid. This means that the wine you think is amazing may not be amazing at all. The cheap wine you think is bad may be exactly the same as the one you paid a lot for, and your sensation can be completely manipulated by context. And it is precisely this information that opens the way to the next point. The industry uses this against you, and does so strategically. Now, yes, let's get into the part where the industry truly makes a fool out of you. The BOT Awards. Many wine competitions work like this. You pay to participate. You pay to send samples. You pay to be evaluated. And guess what? The more wines that enter, the more medals they distribute. Some competitions award more than 60% of participants. This means that a medal is not a sign of excellence, it's marketing. In independent tests, many judges didn't even remember which wines they had rated highly the day before. And worse, some competitions admitted that judges taste hundreds of wines in just a few hours. It's impossible to distinguish everything with accuracy. In other words, that shiny gold medal on the label may be as trustworthy as a sticker slapped on by a marketing team. The industrialized wine industry. Here's the part almost nobody knows. A huge portion of cheap wines, and even some premium ones, are artificially adjusted. How? With additives legally allowed, artificial aromas to imitate specific fruits, oak chips to simulate expensive barrels, colorants to make the wine darker, sugar to fix flavors, acids to balance flaws, synthetic tannins to add complexity. The result? A cheap wine, full of flaws, gains the artificial taste of an expensive wine. And you pay for a sensory illusion created in a lab. The price lie. Research shows that in blind tests, cheap wines often beat extremely expensive wines. Do you know why? Because many expensive wines are only expensive due to branding, the story behind the label, and the perception created, not necessarily because they are better. And there's something even more revealing. Some experts, when tasting the same wine on different days, gave completely different scores, which means that authority can be much more subjective than it appears. The construction of the narrative, the story of the vineyard, the traditional family, the magical terroir, all of this creates a romantic image that makes you feel like you're drinking something unique. But many of these stories are recycled, exaggerated, or even invented. The truth is, you don't just buy wine, you buy a narrative, a feeling, a status. And that's exactly what the industry relies on. Now that you've seen all of this, it's impossible to look at a wine shelf the same way again. You realize that most of the experience is created outside the bottle, that medals guarantee nothing, that expert scores can be inconsistent, that premium wines can be just ordinary wines dressed up, and that you, without noticing, were trained to pay more, believing you were paying for quality. But here comes the most important part, and the true reward for staying until the end. How to stop falling for the scam, practical and powerful checklist. Ignore medals. Many of them mean nothing. Ignore critics' scores. They vary more than you think. Ignore very beautiful labels. They're designed to manipulate you. Prefer small producers with transparency. Look for wines without additives and without sensory makeup. And most importantly, do blind tests. Your honest palate will always surprise you. And if you want me to make a video teaching, step by step, how to really read labels, how to identify doctored wine, how to find good and cheap wines, and how to taste without falling for tricks, comment right here. I want part 2. This will show YouTube that this is the type of content you want to see, and it will help recommend videos like this to more people. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button now and subscribe. You have no idea what's coming next.